Tonight, our special transmission as the Israeli settlers breed red Heifers, anticipating the construction of the third temple in Jerusalem. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Zahra Sayed. Today is the 174th day since Israel started its indiscriminate war against Palestinians. Palestinian Health Ministry reports in the past 24 hours, Israeli strikes have killed 71 Palestinians. 112 have been injured. 15 of these casualties occurred after an Israeli strike targeted a sports center. Injuries have also been reported in a bombing at Saad bin Abi Waqqas Mosque. Overnight attacks in Rafah have killed 12 people from the same family. 7 people have been killed at the Maghazi refugee camp, which has become the site of relentless artillery shelling. Palestinian news agency says Israeli forces obstructed access to Al-Aqsa Mosque for Friday prayers by setting up barricades. Checkpoints had been closed on roads from the West Bank, preventing Palestinian worshippers from entering the mosque. Despite strict security, 120,000 worshippers attended Friday prayers. Palestinian Christians from the West Bank have also been barred from entering Jerusalem's Old City ahead of Easter. While some religious leaders have been permitted entry, ceremonies will be held without their usual congregations. The death toll from Israel's war continues to rise. At the time of writing, Israeli attacks have killed 32,623 Palestinians in Gaza. A report by the United Nations estimates around 8,000 Palestinians are buried under the rubble. 75,092 have been injured. Israel's revised death toll from Hamas's attacks stands at 1,139. The International Court of Justice has unanimously directed Israel to address the dire food shortages in Gaza. The court cited worsening conditions and the spread of famine. The ruling responds to South Africa's accusation of genocide due to Israeli actions. The World Court has ruled Israel to ensure unhindered delivery of basic necessities, such as food, water, and medical supplies, to Palestinians. The ruling says Israel should increase the capacity of land crossing points to facilitate aid delivery. Israel must submit a report within a month detailing compliance to the ruling. Previously, the top court had ruled that Israel should take actions to prevent genocidal acts in Gaza. A Palestinian mother captured by Israeli soldiers has narrated a harrowing account during custody. Hadil al-Dahdu was separated from her breastfeeding son for more than 50 days. She was the only woman who was abducted from the Zaytun quarter of Gaza City last year. Al-Dahdu was blindfolded, bound, and placed in a truck full of detained Palestinian men. During her captivity, she was injected with unknown substances. She says she endured violent interrogations and mock executions. Al-Dahdu recalls being buried alive alongside other detainees. Despite pleading for her safety, she was subjected to physical and psychological torture. She was forced into stressed positions and was frequently beaten. After her release, she faces ongoing health issues and struggles to care for her malnourished children in the war-ravaged region. A controversy has been surrounding the breeding of red cows in the West Bank settlement. The breeding of red cows is linked with the building of the third temple in Jerusalem. In Jewish tradition, the ashes of a perfectly red heifer cow are needed for the ritual purification that will pave the way for the construction of the third temple. Radical Jewish groups say the temple must be constructed on the raised plateau, known as a Temple Mount. This is the spot where Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock shrine stand today. The perfect cow has not been seen for 2,000 years. The last perfect heifer was seen when the Romans destroyed the second Jewish temple in 70 AD. So some Jewish activists and U.S. evangelical Christians who believe the third temple will prompt the second coming of Jesus and Armageddon decided to breed their own. The animals were imported from Texas in 2022 and meet stringent criteria for purity. The cows must not have a single blemish, not a stray white or black hair, and they can never be placed under a yoke or put to work. While some Israelis eagerly anticipate the temple's construction, others acknowledge hurdles, including legal and political challenges. Jews' entries to Al-Aqsa has also been banned by the Chief Rabbinate of Jerusalem since 1921. The edict says that Jews who are forbidden to enter the site unless ritually clean, which is not possible without the ashes of a red heifer. United Nations Human Rights Chief Volker Turk says the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza is bordering on famine and could constitute a war crime. In a recent interview with the BBC, Turk blames Israel for exacerbating the crisis and potentially using starvation as a weapon of war. Israel claims it is facilitating the delivery of aid. However, reports reveal delays and restrictions hindering relief efforts. A report by the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification shows half of Gaza's population is experiencing severe food insecurity. Gaza's hospitals are struggling to treat children facing life-threatening conditions due to malnutrition. Turk says evidence has emerged that Israel is slowing down or withholding the delivery of aid. Turk is urging for immediate action to address the unfolding tragedy. Israel's economy minister Nir Barkat has dismissed Turk's warnings. He insists Israel is letting in all the aid offered by the U.S. and the rest of the world. A Canadian Muslim advocacy group has warned that the Conservative Party leader's stance on Israel is straining his party's relations with Muslims. Nawaz Tahir of the Hikmah Public Affairs Council criticized Pierre Poilievre for missing opportunities to show compassion towards Muslims. Conservative MP Garnett Jinui defends the party's position and emphasizes how important it is for lasting peace to defeat Hamas. The party opposes funding for the UN Refugee Agency and rejects South Africa's lawsuit against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Poilievre reiterates his support for Israel. The National Council of Canadian Muslims is calling on MPs to address these concerns. The advocacy group says favoring Israel in its offensive is potentially impacting conservative support from Muslim communities. The influx of immigrants to Canada's Nova Scotia province is reshaping its religious demographics. There has been a significant growth in Muslim, Sikh, and Hindu communities. Attendance at mosques and temples is on the rise. Interfaith accommodations such as Muslim prayers in a Christian church demonstrate the evolving religious landscape. Religious leaders say it is important to create inclusive spaces to accommodate newcomers. This shift highlights the vital role of faith in immigrants' lives as they integrate into Canadian society. Statistics Canada reports 15,000 Muslims living in Nova Scotia in 2021. The figure is a significant rise from 8,500 Muslims living in the province to 2011. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad. Assalamu alaikum.